Dr. E, as Juneteenth approaches, I was wondering, what are your thoughts around this commemoration?
In so many ways, I hate that question. And at the same time, I think it's important to speak to it. It was signed in as a federal holiday under President Biden. And instead of feeling joy, I felt a lot of sorrow. I think it's very sad that we have to celebrate Juneteenth, which is the celebration of the freedom of the slaves who did not know that they had already been freed. And for people to have continued to hold people in bondage, even beyond the legal period of time when the emancipation was signed, slaves were free, and yet there were still slaves that were not told they were free and might not ever have known they were free had there not been this sort of Juneteenth when it was actually spoken to as you are free in Texas and also Delaware. And it's mind-boggling to me. It is the whole idea of slavery is despicable. The fact that eventually there was an emancipation is something that is sad because slavery was despicable, but we look at emancipation as being what supposedly freed us from bondage. Then we look at a celebration of Juneteenth, which showed that in so many ways, the emancipation was on paper only. And then even after Juneteenth, when slaves who were held in bondage beyond the point of time of the emancipation were liberated and set free to what? There were no 30 acres and a mule. There was no support. And yet we're talking about people who managed to build and to thrive and to create from nothing. And then every time as a people we would get a footing, it would be destroyed. So what Juneteenth really represents to me is the reality that emancipation is on paper. It's not a reality. That's what I think of when I look at Juneteenth. And until we reach a place in time where history respects the entirety of what slavery did and what systemic racism continues to do, there's still no emancipation.